Across the globe right now, two distinct medical crises are simultaneously fracturing human health. On the surface, they seem to have absolutely nothing in common. The first is the massive surge in autoimmune conditions. Rates of type 1 diabetes, rheumatoid arthritis, and lupus are climbing rapidly. In all of these, the body's own immune system inexplicably turns against healthy, vital tissue. The second crisis is happening in maternity wards. We are seeing a steep, alarming rise in severe pregnancy complications, from preeclampsia blood pressure spikes to gestational diabetes and spontaneous preterm births. Modern medicine typically treats a failing pancreas in an endocrinology wing and a failing pregnancy in an obstetrics ward. But emerging research points to a single, shared biological trigger driving both of these systemic collapses. Looking at this illustration of the bacteria, viruses, and fungi living inside us, we find the real source of the problem. The 23 million microbial genes that cohabit our bodies dictate our immune responses, acting as the primary drivers behind these medical failures. To understand the baseline, in a healthy microbiome, beneficial bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids. First, these act as biological mortar, locking intestinal cells into an impenetrable barrier. Second, they filter through to feed regulatory T cells, the immune system's peacekeepers. This specific chemical exchange is what maintains total systemic immune tolerance. It tells your body to stay calm, ensuring it doesn't attack harmless food antigens, your own organs, or a developing fetus. Human systemic health relies entirely on this microscopic border wall holding strong. If the good microbes die, the barrier fails, and the immune peacekeepers starve. And that is exactly what our modern lifestyle is doing. Widespread antibiotic use, ultra-processed diets low in fiber, and chronic stress are acting like an acid wash on our ecosystems. This causes a mass die-off of those beneficial SCFA-producing bacteria. In their place, inflammatory microbes called pathobionts stage a hostile takeover. Medicine calls this dysbiosis. The structural failure is immediate. Without good bacteria, the gut releases zonulin, actively pulling apart tight junctions of your intestinal wall. With the wall broken, aggressive bacterial toxins called LPS pour directly through the gaps into your bloodstream. This event is called metabolic endotoxemia. Because these toxins are now circulating everywhere, they trigger a panic-level systemic inflammatory alarm throughout your entire body. What started as a localized dietary or pharmaceutical disturbance in your digestive tract has escalated into a full-scale systemic biological breach, setting the stage for immune collapse. Without signals from the starved peacekeepers, the immune system responds to the breach with aggression. It rapidly deploys pro-inflammatory Th17 cells to hunt down the invading toxins. This leads to the first major casualty, autoimmunity. Through a biological error known as molecular mimicry, the hyperreactive immune system gets confused. It mistakes your own organs for the bacterial invaders. The physical destruction is severe. White blood cells might permanently destroy insulin-producing cells in the pancreas, resulting in type 1 diabetes, or erode the cartilage in your joints, causing rheumatoid arthritis. Meanwhile, the second front opens during pregnancy. That exact same systemic inflammation travels straight to the placenta, completely shattering the delicate immune balance required to tolerate the fetus. This severe placental inflammation drives massive endothelial dysfunction, triggering the dangerous blood pressure spikes of preeclampsia. Simultaneously, dysbiosis in the vaginal tract triggers a cytokine storm that can physically initiate premature labor. A malfunctioning pancreas and a failing pregnancy are identical symptoms of a single systemic microbial collapse. This brings us to a concept known as the holobiont. We have to stop viewing ourselves as solitary human organisms. Human biology simply cannot function, regulate itself, or successfully reproduce without its microbial counterpart. And there is a hidden generational cost to ignoring this. The inflammatory cascade from maternal dysbiosis crosses the placental barrier, reaching into the developing fetus. By exposing the fetus to metabolic endotoxemia, this toxic environment pre-programs the child's developing immune system, hardwiring it with a permanent hyperreactive bias. The explosion of autoimmune diseases seen in young people today is the direct result. We are witnessing the generational inheritance of a damaged microbial ecosystem. But there is an empowering reality here. Unlike our static human genetics, the microbiome is highly malleable and rapidly treatable. We possess the specific, scientifically proven tools to repair the damage. By utilizing targeted prebiotics, precise probiotic seeding, high-fiber diets, and strictly restricting unnecessary antibiotic use, we can rebuild the wall. The biological results happen fast. You starve out the inflammatory pathobionts, effectively reversing metabolic endotoxemia. By sealing the gut wall, you revive the immune peacekeepers and restore order to the bloodstream. Curing the modern plagues of autoimmunity and pregnancy failure requires us to treat ourselves as the complex, living ecosystems we truly are.